Hey guys, what's up? Rob Mods here, bringing you another guide and just some of my thoughts on free-to-play heroes today. A lot of people ask me about this all the time. It's something that is very different in the game from pay-to-play over to free-to-play, and so I want to talk about it the way that I do it. In no way is this the best way to do it at all. It's just how it worked out for me and the way that I figure that it's going to work. Just ignore my shop. I just finished recording a video trying to get net worth up as fast as possible. I don't have bins out. I'm not crafting. I know it's a wreck, and we got customer frenzy on, so it's insane. If you missed out on that vid, it is nuts how much net worth we got through in 1 hour. Like, for real, I've never seen it that fast before. But anyway, let's talk heroes. Let's talk free to play. Let's talk what that looks like, and I'll mess around with all this stuff later on. So let's jump over here. I've left a bunch of quests open just so that I can show you what I'm talking about while I'm talking about it. So for my heroes, as you can see, they're all spellcasters. I don't have any of the ninjas or what do you call them, berserkers or whatever. So I think we can actually look at that. Here we go. So there's fighters, rogues, and spellcasters here. I just chose spellcasters because when I looked at this, it looked the most comprehensive. Like, there was everything except evasion. So it just seemed to me like it made the most sense in terms of stats. So I just went with it. There was no reason for it other than that. But basically, I just wanted like a full team that I could send out, that I'm not really even looking at what I'm sending out, because they're all the same thing and they're all well-rounded enough to cover my bases. Because I mean, I started out and tried to do like a bunch of fighters and some mages and some rogues and whatever, but it just, I didn't really care for it, or I don't know, I just wanted to switch things up. So that's the reason there. So the biggest difference between free to play and pay to play when it comes to heroes is that you can't repair your equipment. So let's look at this. I've said this before. So that broke during this quest. And so when you look at this, you've got different options. If you're pay to play, I just hit 500,000, I repair it, and I'm good to go. That's it. It's simple, it's easy. But if you don't have the subscription, then you can't do that. So your other options is repair it, which obviously this is not worth 41 gems. This is worth like 1.2 million. And repair kits, but there's no way that you're going to get enough repair kits to repair everything. It's impossible. I open how many chests I'm fully like playing all of the time, but in an event like Lost City, where I'm using feathers and rushing heroes, I might go through 50 to 100 items in an event, and there's no way I'm ever going to get that many repair kits. So reality is, I have to hit discard. There's no way around it. That's what it looks like. And so for us as free-to-play players, oh shoot, okay, whatever, waste of money, but it's fine. So as free-to-play players, you got to recognize that there's no point in us getting gear that's really good. Like, legendaries are pretty much out of our league completely, because there's literally no point in buying them, because if they break, you might be able to use repair kits for a bit, but eventually you're going to run out and they're done. So if you look at my heroes, this is what it looks like. I have full green setup, and I have just tier 2 because it's more cost effective, and the wolf, which, I mean, the green wolf is only like 40k or something right now. So each of these items cost me 800 or 900k to buy the item, 250k maybe for the element, and then a 40k for the wolf. So really like 1.1, 1.2 mil per item. So if it breaks, it's not killing the bank. I'm not expending a ton to have my heroes the way that they are. And it just works fine for me. So what this looks like, let's say a piece of equipment's broken. Here we go. So I'm just going to hit spell, and then I've just got extra tied elements. So I just throw it on there, and then I've got extra wolves. I throw it on there. And then my hero is equipped again. And if you see, all my heroes basically have the same equipment. They all look the same. They all basically do the same thing. I've rerolled all of their skills at some point along the line so that they all just have extra bonuses, attack bonuses, so that there's no vacant skills. this isn't all the way up, to 80 out of 80, but that would cost me, 2 million per element instead of 200k per element. So it doesn't make any sense. That triples the value of each piece that's breaking. So like, let's look at this. Okay, so dismiss, it broke, whatever. So I only got 22 there. Obviously my chests aren't out right now. I don't have the setup for this, but it doesn't matter. So 22 of those, they're selling for like 70k right now. So really, I just made like 1.4 million or something with those. Obviously only 68k actually I got, but like 1.4 million worth of components. But if something just broke and that piece just cost me 1.2 million, that quest literally only made me 200k. If I did a quest that 2 items broke, I just lost money. And so heroes free to play are actually not a moneymaker. If you're a high level player who has a subscription, then having a high level rogue or something that's able to like one shot like one of the higher level quests, like something like this, like it's a boss and I can do it with basically 2 people. Or even, let's say I want to do this hard, and I can, if I've got 4 people going to this, I can easily do that with level 35 heroes with half decent skills with green gear. There's no issue. That's never failed before. And so it may not look flashy, you may not have really good items, but in the end, if you have more than green items, you're never going to make any money. And in fact, if things are breaking and you're not able to repair them with gold, you're just going to be losing money. So that's why I have it that way. I mean, I'm sure even with the same setup, you don't just have to have spellcasters. I get that gets kind of boring and you're not going to want to do that all the time. But, it is what it is. When I get to endgame, my guys are all almost level 40. This is really painful watching all these components disappear. Whatever, I just want to show you. When I get to level 40 and I'm doing quests, often I actually only use Sia and Polonia, because Sia gets additional components, so I'm making twice the money. So even if things break, I'm not losing as much. And Polonia gets extra items. So if you get 10 tier 9s and you can sell them, you're making like 6-7 mil. So that's a lot more cost effective and I'm not losing money. Where if I just send out like Argon and I get 20 components, I make 1.4 million with them. But 3 items, like I have up to 4 items break in a quest, and it sucks, but that quest just cost me 4.5 million. So it's just really frustrating and not profitable. So when I do money making guides, I don't include quests in there, because for me as a free-to-play player wanting to make guides for people who don't want to spend a lot of money in this game, quests are actually losing money. Like for that one, for example, 1 item broke, it cost me 1.2 million. But since Polonia is there, look at that. I got 23 tier 9 items. So that at like 700k each or whatever that ends up being, selling those on market, I'm making 15 mil or something. So that was a 14 mil profit quest. So sometimes it can be really good and it's definitely worthwhile. But look at this, even if I use a repair kit on this, because it's one of the more expensive green items that I have, in an event like Lost City, and I use 50 of those, it just sucks. It's really frustrating. So I just wanted to explain that to you guys a little bit. Yes, you can still do all the bosses. You can still do Lost City of Gold. If you haven't seen that, go back. I show you me finishing Lost City of Gold as a free-to-play player with nothing more than green gear. And all of these, look, I just have like 3 or 5, something around there. I'm just floating where I always have extra of these items. So I've got a couple of extra staffs, so I can just keep these guys topped up as I go and do quests with them. And I'm really not that worried about it at this point. Of course, for you might want to worry about it a little bit more, but if your heroes can get level 7 gear, tier 7 gear, and you just get all green, you throw some level 2 enchants or even level 1 enchants at this point if you don't want to be spending 200k per element, and throw some wolves on there for some extra attack, and you can do all the quests that this game has, and you're not even losing out on big events like Lost City. It is what it is. And for me, if you look at my inventory here, I try to save up my feathers, but I still have 38 feathers, and I've still got to the end of every single event. As long as you're not using those like every day, but just save them up for events and special things, or when components are really expensive because of a certain event, I think it makes a lot of sense to do that. And you're not hurting yourself, and you can still do everything that pay to play players can do. You just got to do it a little bit differently, and know that expensive items aren't going to make you money. They're going to lose your money, and it's just the way it is for us. So I hope that makes sense. If you guys have any questions or any thoughts, or even other builds that you guys want to talk about, so it's not just spellcasters who are all named Rob and it's just really lame. I totally get that. So anyway, hope that makes sense for you guys. If you have questions, make sure to leave a comment or message me on Discord or whatever, and I'd love to chat. Anyway, take care, guys. Thanks again for watching. Bye.